is going to focus on World War II, and it's got footage, the gameplay footage from Call of Duty World War II. I just think it was such a harrowing day in history that needed to happen, I guess, but it's just crazy all the same. And I wanted to do a video about this for a long time, but I didn't know quite how to approach it, so I thought, just use footage from Call of Duty, which is an amazing recreation of the landings. So, here we go. I'm just going to be reading about Normandy Landings, so just relax, and if you like video games, it's going to be even better. The Normandy Landings were the landing operations on Tuesday, 6th of June 1944, of the Allied invasion of Normandy in Operation Overlord during World War II. Codenamed Operation Neptune and often referred to as D-Day, it was the largest seaborne invasion in history. The operation began the liberation of German-occupied France and later Europe from Nazi control, and laid the foundations of the Allied victory on the Western Front. I'm also going to intersperse this with a bit of me commentating on my gameplay. I was going to do like a Let's Play video, but thought, I recorded it, but I didn't really say much. I was too focused on not getting blown up. So, yeah, you'll hear me talk about playing as well. Planning for the operation began in 1943. In the months leading up to the invasion, the Allies conducted a substantial military deception, codenamed Operation Bodyguard, to mislead the Germans as to the date and location of the main Allied landings. The weather on D-Day was far from ideal, and the operation had to be delayed for 24 hours. A further postponement would have meant a delay of at least 2 weeks, as the invasion planners had requirements for the phase of the moon, the tides, and the time of day that meant only a few days each month were deemed suitable. Adolf Hitler placed German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel in command of German forces and of developing fortifications along the Atlantic Wall in anticipation of an Allied invasion. Sorry, I'm laughing because I saw a YouTuber commenter with the avatar, and it was like Ronald McDonald, and it was called Rommel McDonald. Stuff like that makes me laugh. The amphibious landings were preceded by extensive aerial and naval bombardment and an airborne assault. The landing of 24,000 US, British and Canadian airborne troops shortly after midnight. Allied infantry and armoured divisions began landing on the coast of France at 6:30. The target 50-mile stretch of the Normandy coast was divided into 5 sectors: Utah, Omaha, soared. Strong winds blew the landing craft east of their intended positions, particularly at Utah and Omaha. The men landed under heavy fire from gun emplacements overlooking the beaches, and the shore was mined and covered with obstacles such as wooden stakes, metal tripods, and barbed wire, making the work of the beach clearing teams difficult and dangerous. Casualties were heaviest at Omaha with its high cliffs. At Gold, Juneau, and Sword, several fortified towns were cleared in house-to-house fighting, and two major gun emplacements at Gold were disabled using specialized tanks. The Allies failed to achieve any of their goals on the first day. Carentan, Setlau, and remained in German hands, and Caen, a major objective, was not captured until 21st of July. Only two of the beaches, Juneau and Gold, were linked on the first day, and all 5 beachheads were not connected until 12th of June. However, the operation gained a foothold which the Allies gradually expanded over the coming months. German casualties on D-Day have been estimated at 4,000 to 9,000 men. Allied casualties, that is insane. Allied casualties were at least 10,000, with 4,414 confirmed dead. Museums, memorials, and war cemeteries in the area now host many visitors each year. I would actually love to go there one day. Sorry about the fucking sirens, but you can never I can never find a good time to record my videos. It's like either that or dogs barking 24/7. Yeah. So, bit of background. After the German army invaded the Soviet Union in June 1941, the Soviet leader Joseph Stalin began pressing his new allies for the creation of a second front in Western Europe. In late May 1942, the Soviet Union and the United States made a joint announcement that a full understanding was reached with regard to urgent tasks of creating a second front in Europe. Boring. I'm just trying to... So there was a lot of deception and stuff. They were trying to... like Hitler and that were trying to always find out what was going to happen, how the Allies were going to attack. I'm just trying to get to an interesting thing that things that match up to what Omaha was probably the worst hit. Yeah, so Omaha, the most heavily defended beach, was assigned to the 1st Infantry Division and 29th Infantry Division. They faced the 352nd Infantry Division rather than the expected single regiment. Strong currents forced many landing craft east of their intended position, or caused them to be delayed. Fear of hitting the landing craft, US bombers delayed releasing their loads, and as a result, most of the beach obstacles at Omaha remained undamaged. When the men came ashore, many of the landing craft ran aground on the sandbars, and the men had to wade 50 to 100 meters in water up to their necks while under fire to get to the beach. In spite of the rough seas, DD tanks of two companies of the 741st Tank Battalion were dropped 5,000 yards from shore. However, 27 of the 32 flooded and sank, with the loss of 33 crew. Some tanks, disabled on the beach, continued to provide covering fire until their ammunition ran out or they were swamped by the rising tide. Casualties were around 2,000 as the men were subjected to fire from the cliffs above. Problems clearing the beach of obstructions led to the beach master calling a halt to further landings of the vehicles at 8:30. A group of destroyers arrived around this time to provide fire support, so landings could resume. Exit from the beach was possible only via 5 heavily defended gullies, and by late morning, barely 600 men had reached the higher ground. By noon, as the artillery fire took its toll and the Germans started to run out of ammunition, the Americans were able to clear some lanes on the beaches. They also started clearing the gullies of enemy defences so that vehicles could move off the beach. The tenuous beachhead was expanded over the following days, and the D-Day objectives for Omaha were accomplished by D+3. I just want you to think for a second how horrifying this would have been for both sides, but I guess, the president was all fine. I guess in war you don't really have a choice, but I would be horrified at the thought of giving the orders of sending thousands of men to their deaths. It's just disgusting. And the fear that these guys must have had, you can easily see it in newsreel footage from that time, and yeah, it's just crazy. The Normandy Landings were the largest seaborne invasion in history, with nearly 5,000 landing and assault craft, 289 escort vessels, and 277 minesweepers participating, nearly 160,000 troops across the English Channel on D-Day, with 875,000 men disembarking by the end of June. Allied casualties on the first day were at least 10,000, with 4,414 confirmed dead. The Germans lost 1,000 men. I mean, first of all, you're in those tanks, you see in Saving Private Ryan, and the door comes down and you're basically shot to fucking shit without a second of even getting on the beach, and you're running into certain death. It's just the fear is just out of this world, and you'd be so horrified at the prospect of getting killed. How do you even train yourself to be able to fight? A really good documentary about war is Peter Jackson's they will never grow old. That is a very, very harrowing, realistic, well, it's real, so, very graphic, telling of what World War One was in the trenches and how horrifying the experience was. And these were just young boys who lied about their age and things, and they weren't trained fighters, they were just, it smelled like meat, just used as like one bullet equaled one man. A bullet is more precious than a life. Just think about that. Kind of ideology back then. I'm glad we live in a world where, you know, it's probably better to be blown up by an atomic bomb than have to go through all that shit. Yeah, so as you can see, it was a major turning point in the war. Hitler had to be stopped. So yeah, it was necessary. But yeah, it's one of the most horrific days in human history. And I hope this video captured a lot of the horrors of it. So, thank you for watching this, and yeah, hope it relaxed you and made you think. So, again, I always have to point this out, if you'd really like to help the channel, I have a GoFundMe account, and I mean it would just really help out. Just even like a tiny donation would really, you know, make a big difference, because I do these things for nothing, really. It's, I don't know, I just automatically do them now. I don't really think about them, but, you know, being rewarded, I guess, it's helping the channel along, and yeah, I feel like I'm getting something out of doing this, so yeah, I mean, if you feel like it, go ahead. Thanks. Bye. Your support is really appreciated. So thank you guys, and stay safe.